6:45. This is the Sri Lankan Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The Trincomalee oil tank complex is due to be presented to the Parliament on the 8th of next month. The government is to provide a subsidy for chemical fertilizers within the next 3 months. The total of COVID-19 cases registered in the country is nearing 600,000. Sri Lankan cinema marks 75th anniversary today. The Grade 5 scholarship examination in the year 2021 will be held tomorrow. News overseas. First foreign aid planes arrive in Tonga bearing crucial supplies. In sports, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe will meet in the third and final ODI today. And those are the headlines. The agreement signed pertaining to the development of the Trincomalee oil tank complex is due to be presented to the Parliament on the 8th of next month. Minister Uday Gammanpilla says that all must support to development develop the oil tank complex, disregarding their political differences. The country's debt crisis is not a result of one government. Therefore, all political parties should get together to overcome these challenges. The agreement signed at the Ministry of Finance recently terminates the 2003 lease agreement and divides the oil tank complex between 3 institutions for a period of 50 years. Accordingly, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation will own 24 tanks, while the Lanka Indian Oil Corporation, LIOC, will own 14 tanks, and the Trinco Petroleum Terminal Company will own 61 tanks. The Health Ministry reported that 827 persons have tested positive for coronavirus yesterday, as the daily count of new COVID-19 cases surpasses the 800 mark for the second consecutive day. The total number of COVID-19 cases registered in the country jumps to 599,363 with the new cases. Over 15,000 infected patients are currently undergoing treatment. Sri Lanka yesterday reported 12 deaths due to COVID-19 after the figures were confirmed by the Director General of Health Services. Among the deaths reported yesterday are 8 males and 4 females. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Authorized Economic Operator project, which is in use worldwide, will be implemented in the country. The aim is to expand the green channel and fast track for importers selected by the customs. It will be implemented under 2 phases. It will help to minimize time and expenditure during the import and export process. It will also pave way for the country to move up in International Ease of Doing Business Index. Plantation Minister Dr. Ramesh Patirana says that the government is currently in discussion to provide subsidy for chemical fertilizers or to reduce the price of the fertilizers within the next 3 months. He also stated that government is ready to embark on a new journey in agriculture in the new year by mobilizing all forces. He was speaking at the opening of the multipurpose building at the Batahena Dharmadevi Temple, which was funded by STAR project implemented by the Tea Small Holding Development Authority and sponsored by the Habarakada Tea Small Holdings Development Society. Sinhala cinema marks 75th anniversary today. Sri Lankan cinema enriches the films made in Sri Lanka. It is a fledgling industry that has struggled to find a footing since its inauguration in 1947 with Kadavunu Poronduwa, produced by S.M. Nayagam of Chitra Kala Movies. Sri Lankan films are usually made in Sinhala and Tamil languages. During the past decades, several films began to tackle gritty subjects such as family relationship, abortion, and results of the conflict between the military and Tamil Tigers in the north. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Grade 5 Scholarship Examination, which was scheduled to be held in year 2021, will be held tomorrow. Commissioner General of Examinations, LMD Dharmasena, says 255,062 candidates in Sinhala medium and 85,445 candidates in Tamil medium out of the total of 340,507 candidates are sitting for the Grade 5 Scholarship Examination this year. The examination will be held at 2,943 examination centres island-wide and 499 coordinating centres will be operating. The Department of Examinations has issued a press release on temporarily banning tuition classes and other related activities. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, the National Water Supply and Drainage Board requests the public to use the water sparingly in the face of prevailing dry weather. The board says that if this condition continues, water supply for high elevated areas will be in low pressure condition. And that was Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
World News first. Headlines first. First foreign aid plane arrived in Tonga bearing crucial supplies. Many feared dead after huge explosion in Bogoso in Ghana. A teenage pilot Zara completes a solo round world record. And those are the headlines of the World News. The first foreign aid plane has arrived in Tonga bearing much-needed supplies for the Pacific nation, which was left devastated by volcanic eruption and subsequent tsunami last Saturday. New Zealand said its military plane landed at Tonga's main airport after workers cleared ash from the runway. Australia also confirmed the first of its relief plane had arrived. Many people are feared dead after a huge explosion near a mining town in western Ghana. Police say a vehicle carrying mining explosives collided with the motorcycle near the town of Bogoso. Images shared by local media showed a large plume of black smoke rising above destroyed buildings and scattered debris as residents called for help. A teenage pilot has become the youngest woman to fly solo around the world following a 5-month challenge. Zara Rutherford, 19, landed in Kortrijk-Wegelum in Belgium 2 months later than planned as a result of adverse weather conditions. During the trip, she spent a month stuck in Nome, Alaska, and 41 days in Russia. And that's World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Anuradhapura to Vavuniya section of the northern track length of 120 kilometers will be closed for 5 months for major upgrades. From March 1st, all trains will operate only up to Anuradhapura during this period. A railway spokesman said this section will be upgraded in keeping with the modern standards at a cost of $92 million. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
In sports, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe are set to meet in the third and final match The series decided today at the Pallekele International Stadium, commencing at 2:30 p.m. local time. Both teams have won one match each and hope to win this game. The Sri Lankan team, led by Dasun Chanaka, is ready to bounce back in this game to win the series. The interim coach of the Sri Lankan team, Ramesh Ratnayaka, said that the focus is on Zimbabwe's two experienced left-handed batters, skipper Craig Irwin and Sean Williams, who have scored the most number of runs in the last two games. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Fitch Ratings has upgraded Sri Lanka-based Continental Insurance Lanka Limited National Insurer Financial Strength to A+ from A. The outlook is stable. The upgrade reflects a sustained improvement in CILL's regulatory capital position along with its consistent good underwriting performance. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
In economic news, Central Bank says it expects to achieve an economic growth of 5% this year. During media briefing, the bank disclosed that there was an economic growth of 4% last year. Remittances from immigrant workers were lower during the second half of the last year. The bank requested them to send money to the country only through proper channels. And that was economic news.
The Weather Report.
The Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. There is a possibility of ground frost in some places in the Nuwara district at the early hours of the morning. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in western, central and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts during the morning hours. Before we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, let's look at the main points once again. The Trincomalee Oil Tank Complex proposal is due to be presented to the Parliament on the 8th of next month. The government is to provide a subsidy for chemical fertilizers within the next 3 months. The total of COVID-19 cases registered in the country is nearing 600,000. Sri Lankan cinema marks 75th anniversary today. The Grade 5 Scholarship Examination in the year 2021 will be held tomorrow. And with that, we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.